Good evening, and thank you all for the opportunity to share my proposal for Fulton Public Schools this evening. My name is Rachel Webb, and I currently teach third grade at McIntyre Elementary School. I am excited to present a proposal to you all focused on ensuring technology equity for all of our students. In today's classroom, digital tools are no longer a luxury, but a necessity. Our students deserve equitable access to technology that supports their learning, inclusion, and their future readiness, no matter their background or ability level. That is why I am proposing an improvement plan focused on tech equity for all K-12 students within our district. So what is tech equity? Technology equity refers to the practice of ensuring that all individuals and communities have fair access and the ability to effectively use and benefit from digital technologies and their opportunities. This extends beyond simply having internet access or access to a device. Our district lacks equitable access to technology, specifically students with disabilities, and our ELL students. Addressing the current digital divide involves bridging gaps in the connectivity and resources to support equitable learning environments for those students. Utilizing tech tools also increases student engagement and collaboration, enhancing their overall learning outcomes. So whenever we want to start a new innovation, we want to look at what standards that would align with. Thinking about technology, we want to specifically look at the International Society for Technology and Education Standards, or the ISTE standards. These standards serve as the framework to help guide teachers in their new innovations. This proposal directly aligns with several of the ISTE standards for students and educators, as you can see listed here on this slide. 3 standards that really stood out to me under the ISTE standards for students are the Empowered Learner Standard, the Innovative Designer Standard, and the Creative Communicator Standard. And what these 3 standards do are they give students a voice and a choice in how they are able to demonstrate their learning, as well as access to digital tools that allow them to create artifacts for a variety of purposes while communicating and collaborating with their peers in ways that best suit their learning style. For staff, I found that all 7 ISTE standards are addressed through this proposal. However, I would like to specifically highlight the Learner Standard, the Designer Standard, and the Analyst Standard. As an educator, we commit to ongoing professional growth, and this is addressed through the Learner Standard with targeted professional development, specifically on inclusive technology integration. Through this proposal, staff will also be expected to design student-centered lessons that accommodate the diverse needs of our students with disabilities and our ELL students. Features like translation tools, text-to-speech, multimedia options, these all ensure that every student, regardless of their ability or language, can access and demonstrate their understanding. And then lastly, the Analyst Standard ensures that staff understand and use the data from those digital platforms that students are using to really help guide them and improve their daily instruction. So, looking at the current status of technology use in our district, we know that every student K through 12 receives a Chromebook that comes equipped with Google Translate to support accessibility. While this is a positive first step, it falls short of fully addressing the needs of students with IEPs or 504 plans or those who are English language learners. Currently, within our district, we serve approximately 500 students that fall into one of those 3 categories. That is a significant number of students at risk of being underserved. I am confident that as a district, we can implement additional supports that will more effectively meet the needs of those students. Another challenge that we have is that teachers in our district have limited training when it comes to using accessible technology tools or implementing the ISTE standards. Without having targeted professional development in those areas, these gaps will continue to grow. Additionally, parents currently have no access to translated school information via online platforms or through a district-provided translator. This creates further barriers to engagement and equity. As I mentioned earlier, however, I believe that our district can take specific steps to better support all 500 of those students and families, as well as any future students and families to come. Moving on to the good stuff, a plan for improvement. The primary goal of this proposal is to create technology systems for our district that are more inclusive for all students and families, regardless of their ability or language. It prioritizes ongoing professional development as well for educators to successfully integrate more inclusive technology practices. To better serve the students that have been identified throughout this proposal, our district can take targeted steps to ensure more equitable access to technology. After talking with our special education department from McIntyre, one key recommendation that I took from our conversation was that we could invest in assistive technology for students who are nonverbal, visually impaired, hearing impaired, or just have other significant communication and accessibility needs. This includes devices and tools such as AAC systems, refreshable braille displays, screen readers and screen magnifiers, assistive listening devices, speech-to-text or text-to-speech software. In addition, I recommend adding a translation feature to our student information system and parent portal. This enhancement would really improve the communication between teachers and families while also ensuring that parents who speak languages other than English have equitable access to important school information. Our district also no longer employs a dedicated translator, and we are relying solely on our one ELL teacher to fill this role for the entire district. This creates a significant challenge during parent-teacher conferences or district-wide events, especially when multiple events are taking place at the same time across different schools. Implementing tools like Pocket Talk could help alleviate some of these communication barriers in the future. Before making these changes, however, we really need to look at how we can involve those who will be the most impacted and those who will be participating in the changes being made. So you want to think about your teachers, you want to think about your students and their families, and you also want to think about admin and just really get some form of communication out regarding the use of these potential changes with technology and how we want to be intentional in better serving our students and their families. We would also want to provide targeted professional development, starting with those ISTE standards and how to implement them effectively. You'd also want some form of professional development over how to effectively use new devices within your classroom, so that in turn you could better serve your students. Additionally, I think our district could benefit from an ed tech team. This team would consist of classroom teachers across the district who could help train teachers over the implementation of new digital tools or platforms and different ways that they could utilize those with students, especially those with disabilities or language barriers, to enhance that student engagement piece. From there, the district could conduct annual audits to help monitor what devices are being used and how those devices are being used to guide or improve our day-to-day instruction, as well as where the gaps are still occurring. I think a lot of times change can be intimidating for people, but I am confident that these positive changes and improvements create a win-win situation all around. Everyone benefits from implementing these changes, the students, the teachers, and even their families. So I really hope that you will decide to implement some new technology strategies after hearing this presentation. Thank you so much again for your time. Hi everyone. For this last slide, I just wanted to thank everyone for watching my presentation. My resources that were used are all listed on this slide and are hyperlinked in case you are interested in looking into those further. I hope that this was useful and that you were able to learn something. Thank you for joining me.